So, another quick random video. I just had like a topic going on in my head, and the topic was video game developers with social media. And what sparked this topic in my head was I was going through Twitter or X, whatever, and I saw that there were people expressing, like disinterest in The Witcher 4, saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna buy this game." And then the official Twitter page for The Witcher 4 responded with that meme with like the guy doing like the thumbs up kind of like cool story, and then he just kind of like goes back to talking to that little circle group, almost like kind of ignoring like whatever the haters were saying, right? And I always felt that the controversy with Siri from a while back, with like her being ugly, was definitely just grifters farming. She did not look ugly in my opinion. She didn't look unappealing. She didn't look, wokeified, as some would say. But a lot of people have corrected their stance on that, or I don't know, maybe just adjusted it with like a later gameplay reveal for that game. I think it was when they showed off like the tech demo for The Witcher 4, where Ciri looked a little bit more, it's almost like she had a little bit more blush on her. She looked a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, and people are saying, "Oh, they listened to us, they caved." But I think it was just a matter of the trailer having like a particular art style, and that art style kind of looks more gritty, looks more, more texture, more realistic. And because of that, it would influence Ciri's character model. And the reason why I would say that, I don't think I'm coping, but if you guys have seen The Witcher 3's trailer, like way back in the day, where Geralt, he looks so different in those trailers. Like, Geralt looks so different. He looks noticeably older. Like, he looks like an older guy. He looks like an old man. Because in the video games, with like that, video gamey character model aesthetic, like he's supposed to be old, but he looks like pretty young, all things considered. But in the trailer, it's like, oh yeah, like this is like an older dude. And I feel like the trailer for The Witcher 4 kind of was giving Ciri that same aesthetic, that same vibe, that same like overall look. And therefore it ages her, and people thought, oh no, they're going down this path. And whether or not they include elements that could be, aligned with certain views, remains to be seen when the game actually officially launches. But I feel like you could pose the argument that The Witcher 3 had those types of like elements, but I feel like that's a whole different can of worms. That's a different little short video discussion, in some other point. But the point is, it's really how these social media marketing teams manage these accounts and how they engage and interact with a lot of these people and engage with the criticisms. And I think that's like the main issue that I want to address. And I noticed that a lot of people just feel like there's just a lot of friction on the internet. Surprise, right? And because there's a lot of friction, it's almost like damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you stay quiet, which would be technically the correct thing to do, a lot of people will, I don't know, kind of see it as they're not really engaging with the audience, they're not engaging with the community, they're only kind of like picking things apart. But at the same time, whenever they do engage, it's almost like they're fanning the flames, so to speak. You know what I mean? Where they're, engaging with these people in a very disingenuous way. And I feel like in this case, those people that were complaining about Ciri back then were most likely the people that are complaining now. So I don't think that engaging with these people in good faith is really like warranted in this case. But this is something that made me reflect on a lot of previous social media marketing, brands. Like, I think the most infamous one would probably be like Wendy's. I think Wendy's was like the most abrasive one, where like they kind of embraced that like really rude marketing scheme at some point. And then I think that became kind of like this meme because when you're representing a brand, you're not supposed to be antagonizing people, right? But I believe Wendy's kind of went against that, and they were intentionally being hostile to people. And a lot of people saw merit, or well, not merit, but they saw entertainment in that, right? And with entertainment comes traffic, and with traffic comes, people that put eyes on you, give you exposure, credibility. Whether or not it's the type of credibility you would want, that's a different story. But I think since then, a lot of other media companies started becoming a little bit more emboldened with like how they engage with a lot of these people online, where they realize, well, we don't have to sit here and take it. We can just be a little bit combative. And some people do that, but they do it in ways where like it may not be to your favor, and especially the brand you're trying to represent. And the most prominent example I can think of was the art director for the game Avowed, like from a while back. I don't remember how long ago that was, but like that guy was definitely going on a rampage, online, just completely off the rails, unhinged, so much to the point that it would ultimately affect, the how people would perceive the game. And I personally haven't played that game, but from what I gathered, the game itself wasn't really all that engaging. It was pretty stiff, or there's like all these criticisms that the game itself was pretty flawed, separate from whatever social media presence the creators had. But I feel like it's like you're not doing yourself any favors by doing this, right? And while I don't necessarily agree with like The Witcher 4's dev team's, engagement, I also understand that a lot of these people most likely don't have good faith arguments, and they're most likely already decided their minds, because that's just kind of how I see it, where they've already decided in their head that they're gonna hate on this game, and there's nothing you can really say to kind of sway their opinion. But by you engaging with like these people in such a manner, I feel like it definitely reflects on your character, and well, in this case, your brand, your overall brand. And like I think some people that are already decided that they're gonna love this game are looking at this and saying that's based, right? But really, I feel like engaging in such a manner is just kind of, I don't know, like I just don't think that's the approach they should be taking. But I don't know, I just kind of wanted to get this video out there, just a little quick video. And if you have any thoughts on the topic, if you want to chime in and say anything, well, go ahead and drop it in the comments, and thank you for watching.